Electrocast.
The NFL season is finally here, so make sure you're ready with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. It gives you the most live NFL games all in one place, exactly what you need to make your Sundays more magical. Sign up today at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Hey!
Dollar bets?
Dollar bets!
Dollar bets, dollar bets!
We're here. It's Thursday night. That means it's football is back. We don't have to suffer. Unless you're a Giants fan, probably. But you'll probably have to, or a Cowboys fan. Either way, you have to gut out that game against a struggling team.
It's a Thursday night game.
It will count. Amazon.
It's not a good game.
Yeah, get that prom. It's prom time. Buy a bunch of shit while you watch.
Like it, but I have nothing else to watch.
Yeah, exactly. But, and then, in case you're wondering, hey, when are they going to say who they're betting on for Thursday night? No one! Skip it! Watch the game, but don't watch it for fantasy or your pool or something. But don't take the money line unless you're Dallas, I guess. But that's not a lot. They're not a good value in that.
I don't have anything else to watch tonight.
It's,
because my WNBA team has been eliminated.
Oh wow! Oh, you were on the fever. That's right. You lost $1 and you paid me. Indiana Clarks. Clark bars. They're out.
Clark bars.
They're out. Bye.
Yeah.
Won the dollar. I told you.
Optimistically put $1 on them to make it all the way to the WNBA finals.
Yeah, all the way of two rounds, right? There's 8 teams that make the playoffs.
One round less than the men's.
Yeah, that's true. They had one. They couldn't win a round. They couldn't win a game out of 3.
It's more
out
than
of
the
2.
original NHL playoffs.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days, the Big 6, man.
More than that,
Original 6. Yeah, well, that's when the only time in history the Red Wings and the Blackhawks were good at the same time because there was only enough players for 6 teams. But yeah, you had the fever.
Is there any 12-legged animals?
Oh yeah, totally, man.
What's a 12-legged animal?
A dodecahydrus.
Yeah, that's what they should throw on the WNBA court.
Dodecahydrus, that's right. 12-legged dodecahydrus.
What is a dodecahydrus? Is that really a thing?
No, of course not, man. I was trying to think if it was dodeca is like 12, I thought. I'm not sure. I might be right, but a hydrus? What the F is a hydrus, man? Swear jar!
Oh, swear
I
jar.
just gave the Caitlin Clark $1 back. So, real quick, I hope this product catches on more, but I'm not particularly optimistic because, I mean, when they were talking about Fever fans complaining or like saying mean things to, like, no. These were Caitlin Clark gamblers. There are not people that angrily yell at WNBA players on X, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, etc., TikTok, because their WNBA team lost to that team. No, those people are gamblers that are pissed off, okay? They're losers, unless they're listening to dollar bets.
I'm in that category. I lost money on it.
That's right. But you're not a loser. You didn't like find a player on the Sun, Connecticut Sun, and like, you this, you that, you asshole. Like, no, you weren't doing that.
There's another swear.
That's barely a swear. That's like
I want to make another Caitlin Clark gamble.
Okay.
All right. Obviously, wait. Have they already announced the WNBA MVP?
It's not gonna be her. It's obviously that.
No, it's not gonna be her. It's gonna be Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
She scored 1,000 points.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say that Caitlin Clark will be second.
Do they release that? That's gonna be like the Zapruder film that has to leak out slowly. Or whatever.
They do it in other sports.
Yeah.
They show the voting.
Yeah, but there's not as much controversy in these other sports where like the person that's keeping it like on ice for the next generation or like making sure it exists and it even exists is being persecuted by the rest of the league. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's not the fans that don't want Caitlin Clark because they're the only reasons there is a Caitlin Clark right now. Like, because they're obsessed with her. She's great. She's great for the league. She's great all the way up for college, men's, and the NBA too. It's just more eyes on hoop, more eyes on youth hoop. It's great for the sport. It's great for kids. Go out there and support her. Support her online too. Don't be a jerk. If you lose a bet, just be angry at yourself. Punish yourself. Punish yourself. You idiots. Punish yourself by making another bad bet, and then you calm down, and then you get your heater back. Today's episode is going to be partially about getting back in heater mode, okay? And one of those ways definitely was to bet on the Chiefs, which I did, which was good. I took the Chiefs and the Bills. Great way.
I am going to have to put in a slight disagreement.
Okay.
Sure, some of these are gamblers that are upset about losing their dollar bet, right? Because nobody would ever bet more than that. But no, I'm sure there's also just your typical cyber bullies.
I mean, yeah, okay, but like, they're doing okay. So if they were cyber bullies, there's no way they're like perfect and good the rest of the time. They're like, I finally found me a target. I'm gonna get this lady on the Connecticut Sun. Sure enough, this lady's going down. What's that?
Bad people.
They're bad people. They're probably from Philly.
They're not the same people that came after Lions coach Dan Campbell.
No, those are Detroit losers.
Those are fans.
These are Detroit losers. These are
fans.
Yeah, they're losers though. They were all losers. If you went after a coach, you're a loser, or a player, you're a loser.
If you went after a coach's high school daughter, it's even worse.
No, they didn't know she was there. They didn't think he had a family. All they see is he's a person that decides which down.
He wasn't there.
No, I know, but they all those people they decide which down a coach. They see the coach as the person that makes them happy or sad, and they didn't see this person has a family, which makes him happy. It's like, yeah, he loves his job, but it's like he probably also loves his family. So let these people have lives, right? I mean, you can privately wish that someone has a shitty life. That's fine. That's not like you're not bad because you privately wish that. Say JJ Redick sucks hole at coaching the Lakers. Like, that's okay to think. Maybe it's okay to say in the right context, but it's not okay.
Why was JJ Redick your go-to example?
Because he's coaching, and people don't like him. Like he's coaching the Lakers, and he from a podcast to a head coach of an iconic franchise. It's like I could see why people don't like him, especially what he averaged 12 points a game. He said that stuff about Bob Cousy, or the Celtics were like a bunch of firemen. They were just playing against firemen. Like, he's kind of a jerk. He's a huge jerk. And he's coaching a team that people already don't like. So, yeah, I'm going to say people might throw that out there. I'm not saying that's me. I've got over the JJ Redick thing. We both wrote poetry. That's cool. But he's going to fail miserably. And that's okay to want somebody in sports, again, to fail at their job. But to go and talk about their race, their sexuality, their families, their this and that, that's a little much. Okay, throw back to Bobby Williams at MSU. People have done this for other coaches too. Putting for sale signs in someone's yard is absurd. That's ridiculous. Like, when we chanted unemployment, I didn't start the chant, but I participated. I'll be honest, I participated. For Dan Munson when he coached at Minnesota after Gonzaga. And you might have been at that game. I forget which year that was. No, you were graduated. Anyways, he got canned later that year, but Izzo was so mad about that, he put out a statement like, that's unacceptable. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of unacceptable, but it's from college kids that have never been fired for anything more than an ice cream shop. So it's like, no shame to working in the ice cream shop and getting fired. That scooping is hard work, man. That's hard work. No one wants to work there hard. That's why we're on dollar bets, making picks, trying to get money, okay? We're going to get you that money. So we made a bet off air. We're going to talk about it. It's WNBA double or nothing. So O gets the Connecticut Sun, and Z gets the Minnesota Lynx. We have verified that these are the teams. O had to ask. I somehow knew at least 6 of the 8 playoff teams, so I was pretty proud of myself about that. And yeah, Lynx are the home team. However, do I know if they play best of 3 now or best of 5? No, I don't.
I was just going to ask.
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I think it's best of 3 again. It might be best of 5. I think they might have changed it to best of 5, but...
Did they ever do a best of 7?
No, the WNBA finals are best of 5. Yeah, no comments. Right. We're no comments. We will comment on that part. Yeah. So yeah, he's got that. But the double or nothing aspect is, no matter who wins the bet, that person has to take that team to beat the Aces or the Liberty in the championship series of best of 5. So I thought that was a really cool wrinkle.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing. If I sweep,
It's a double-double.
it's a double. If I sweep 3 Lynx bets, dude, I'm gonna get a jersey. Like, let's go. Do they make jerseys for men for WNBA? I'll get a shirt. I'll get a tank. I'm gonna get a tank. Send in the tank.
I'll go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get you like a baby-sized Lynx
A baby, dude.
shirt.
Remember, you said Fat Zioli is the best Zioli, though.
Lynx shirt.
Was you were my other buddy that said that Fat Zioli is the best Zioli. So I do have some girth on me now. So I gotta fill out that Lynx shirt. Man, I'm gonna fill it out. $3 holler. Give me a $3 holler tank. Okay, enough WNBA. That bet is settled. I won. You paid me. We're good. We're great. I got $1 back from you after you won last week.
You want to read on air what my
No, it was unprintable, unacceptable. Unprintable and unacceptable. Anyway, so we have a college experience that O needs to talk about, and this is...
You censored me.
I did censor you. So Ohio State is traveling to East Lansing, Michigan, to play Michigan State. They're 24 to 25 point favorites, what I've seen. We might have this. I mean, this hurricane is going everywhere. Like, remnants of it are going to reach as far north as East Lansing, apparently. I'm not sure what the rain. We played in a driving rainstorm in Boston College, so that's not going to hurt us. It's not really going to help more than like a score. It's not like it's going to like, oh, that's the reason. Like, okay, there was a Michigan State game in 2017. It was just downpour, and Michigan had no chance, right? Like, picture Michigan now. If their lack of passing game with Orgy and whoever the other guy was, 32 passing yards. Try playing Ohio State or a good team, a better team than USC in a rainstorm, and you're not gonna they'll put 12 guys in the box, right? Somebody off the sideline's gonna be in there, and so rainy and nasty, you don't even know, and like they will never get any yards that way, right? Maybe one slip of the defender in the gap, and then you go for a while, but I don't think it'll make big a factor in a lot of games. But again, if a team's really pass oriented, are they deep ball oriented? Are they short pass oriented? Where do you think that people will get tripped up the most? I actually think in the short. What's that?
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think in the short game. What do you think?
I think rain definitely helps us. Like,
yeah.
Ohio State is a quick strike team. Like, I saw stat around halftime of their last game that their average time of possession and this is for 4 drives that were all touchdowns, their average time of possession was like 1 minute and 28 seconds.
Jesus.
So they're designed to score and score in a hurry.
Yeah, they're also a lot of speed
rain
against.
will slow them down. Slick ball. Ooh, wow. I'm watching Army versus Temple, and the Army running back just broke one out.
Yeah, their Army's decent
nice
this year.
run.
Army's decent.
To the house.
To Jose.
Back to
The shores of Montezuma or whatever. Oh, that's the
I
Marines.
think the rain will help the Spartans because it will slow down the Ohio State attack.
Yeah.
Put more of this game on the ground.
Okay.
I don't know what that does on the other side of the ball. If having to run more will be better or worse for the Spartans, but
I don't think we will run the ball.
It slows the game down.
I mean,
overall.
I don't think MSU should run once, unless it's with the quarterback. I don't.
Yeah,
I really don't. The offensive. You're seeing a lot of bad offensive line play in the NFL so far, and it's extended into the college game too. It's like some of it is like you got younger players. Do they put enough weight on? The strength? Are they in good shape? Are they well coached? Is something going on in their personal life? They can't think about pushing that guy out of the gap every single second because something's going on in their personal life. You never know, right? And they're transfers, this and that. I think a lot of football fans and certainly gamblers too, like they don't really think about the offensive line setups and defensive line matchup. We get destroyed on their defensive line versus our offensive line. So we need to throw, and move the pocket, and then maybe do some counter type, quick hitting counters with the backup running back, who should be the starter. I call him LA Fitness, Lynch Adams. You're going to this game live. However, you do have a conflict there, right? Like, there's something you'd rather, maybe not rather be watching, but be watching simultaneously at a sports bar or something, or your home.
Yeah, so, as you know, and as I will tell our listeners, so I do get media passes for Michigan State games because I write for theonlycolors.com. I obviously really enjoy that job, but going to football games with a media pass is not by any means an enjoyable viewing experience. You are literally at the highest point of the stadium, up in the press box. You are behind a glass window, so you don't see very well. You don't hear anything. It's the complete opposite of when I get to go do basketball games.
Yeah, basketball is amazing in any
basketball
format.
is great.
I love basketball.
100 level. I don't have a glass window in front of me. I hear everything. I see everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's from a viewing perspective, I don't really enjoy it. But Michigan State's game is at 7:00 that evening.
7:30
and
now.
At 7:30, we've got the game of the century of the year. Georgia at Alabama.
Yeah, our game's at 7:30 now. They moved it.
I really want to be able to watch that game.
Well, you're not going to be able to watch any of it.
There with me, streaming that game.
Yeah, we actually started at the exact same time because they moved from 7 to 7:30.
I thought there was a half hour off between them.
I thought Peacock starts. I thought it's on Peacock and starts at 7:30. Anyway, we'll look that up. Look it up. Look it up.
Either way,
I got Bama. I got Bama in this one. Bama has I know whatchamacallit, Carson Beck is a great prospect supposedly, but is he a great prospect because he's a great prospect, or is he a great prospect because of the pieces around him defensively let him? He doesn't have to. He's never really under pressure except once or twice a season. As far as no, you got to deliver this, bro. Like against Kentucky this year and last year, and then I think last year, and then one of the other years. Yeah, Missouri last year or the year before. It's no, sometimes an unexpectedly close game happens, and he's got to do something. He's got to put in work. That's great, but guess who had to do that every possession last week? Aiden Childs from MSU, for example. So in the grand scheme of things, who's the better prospect? The guy that has to do everything, the guy that's free got the keys to the city as a sophomore on a developing program, or the guy that he has 7 defensive NFL players probably in his starting 11, right? I'm guessing. I didn't do my research. I never do that. We know this by now. But he's got so many prospects, so it's they've had some tight ends, like you mentioned, Bowers on the last show, and McConkey and guys like that. They're NFL players right now, and it's they got talent everywhere. So it's I don't know. I'm taking Milroe because he can damage you with his legs. A play breaks down, it's probably going to come to a receiver snagging a bomb, and the kicking games. I don't really know who replaced Reichert for Alabama, or do they still have him? I forget. But Georgia's kicker's okay, right? He's fine. So I don't know. I'm calling a medium score game, not a shootout, not a 9-6 type of LSU Alabama. And what year was that? 2011.
Yeah, but that was a weather affected game, wasn't it?
Oh, shoot. This is going to be a weather-affected game.
Oh, that's true.
Hurricane Helene. First off, I got Ohio State 42, Michigan State 13. Cover the 31.5 tees. And I got Alabama, I'm going to say, who's their kicker again? Is it Reichert?
Alabama's kicker?
Yeah, I forget if he graduated or not.
I am Googling it right now. It is Will Riker.
Is Will Riker? Alabama 27.
Wait, no.
It's not?
Oh, he was the NCAA Division I all-time scoring leader.
Yeah, so I guess not. He probably played 5 years.
So
27 to 23. Now. What do you got? 27-23 Bama in the game of the century of the year.
27-23? I actually really like that pick. I was going to definitely go Bama.
Yeah.
I guess just to be different, I'll go 30-24.
Ooh, I like that one too. We both like our scores, baby. So, all right. Say a scale of 1 unit to 10 unit. unit being whatever your betting units are, and we go up to 10 just for posterity's sake. Well, how many units are you taking on Bama money line? Because they're 2-point underdogs, I think, which is useless. Just take the money. Like, if you think they're going to lose by 1 point, good for you, but don't do that. Take the money line. Have a purpose. Have a purpose in your life. Take the money line. I'm going 2 units. I'm not hammering that. I'm gonna like put. It's like you're buying like it's like going to the movies. You buy a 2-unit thing. 2 people at the movies. That's like 2 units. And you're like, I'm just gonna enjoy this film, right? So don't go crazy with it. Just enjoy it. But if you really need to pick someone, we took Bama. We told you why, and go do it. 2 units, right? Michigan State. I'm gonna say that 24-25 could get swallowed up pretty easily if the first 20 minutes goes poorly. So I think we need to pop one on their defense, their secondary. I don't know anything about their secondary at all. I know their pass rush is going to be good.
Very good.
Their Ohio State secondary is very good?
Yeah, their defensive line is good. Their secondary is good. Their linebacking core is probably the weak spot.
All right, so we got
relative term.
Okay.
They don't get a lot of turnovers, or at least they haven't yet so far this season.
Okay.
But their secondary, they cover well. They obviously don't have to cover very long because they're.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they haven't really been tested. They played Marshall. They played Bowling Green, right?
2 MAC teams.
2 MAC teams and Marshall. Like, okay.
Might as well be a MAC team.
Nice. They were once. They were a MAC team.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think we're gonna put a charge in them a little bit, and then they're gonna overwhelm us. So that's why I said 42-13, but it could be like more like 45-24 or something like that. But I'd be safe. We're giving betting advice before we get to NFL. We like these 2 games to watch. They're on at the same time. Put them both on. See what you really think of Ohio State, because this is their first. We're gonna say first 20 minutes of this game and their first test they're gonna see their whole year. I mean, they did let Marshall score on them first, but who cares? They won by like 30 or 40. Who cares? Who gives a crap, right? They didn't, clearly, if they let Marshall score on them. But we got some firepower. We just played the wrong running back for starter, and then we were down some receivers, and we're still going to be down receivers, but I just let the kid work. Let the kid go to work. Like, stay aggressive. You're not going to be at Ohio State or teams like that, Ohio State or last year's cheaters or Oregon the next week. If I'm doing
limiting it to just last year?
What?
Why are you just limiting it to last year?
No, last year's cheaters that mattered because they won the whole thing allegedly. There's no record of it. It didn't exist. What I'm doing here is I'm prepping for Oregon because I'm assuming Oregon is a lot more beatable because their defense is a lot worse than Ohio State's defense. They have more speed and arguably a better quarterback is the thing.
Yeah.
So, or I think Oregon and Ohio State's
is obviously. We're coming off of Ohio State, and we're going to get beat up. Hopefully we don't sustain any more injuries, but then we got to travel to the West Coast on a short week Friday night game.
It's not a Friday night game.
What's that?
We don't play Oregon on Friday, do we?
You want to dollar bet that?
No, I'm not dollar betting that. Hold on. What? Are you serious?
It's a Friday night game, buddy.
What's the date today? 26th.
Today, the 26th.
No, it's not. Oh, it is. October 6th. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta go to the goddamn first birthday party for a friend's kid, and I'm like on the 6th, and I thought the Bears played the Europe game, the London game. I thought they played that day, and I got it mixed up. They're playing the Panthers. That's why it was an oversight. They're playing the Panthers instead on the 6th, and the Jaguars the 13th. So they're playing the expansion teams back to back. I got all thrown off. So they play Friday night, a short week in Oregon. Oh, I think we lose by less than the spread for sure that week. But we'll get to that. That's the next week. So we went over our picks. We had some differentiation in the college game but I was surprised. We're only going to talk about the Illinois Penn State one, I think, and the Colorado one. So I like that you took you took Colorado at UCF. I think you're buying in too much in the emotions of the Hail Mary. I mean, it was a rivalry game, right? Or no, it wasn't. It was Baylor. I'm getting them. Dude, who cares about Colorado, man? Their defense sucks. They got, except for Hunter. They don't have any good players on their team besides Hunter and the quarterback.
Speaking of Hail Mary, do you know what the best Hail Mary was in
94.
the history of Hail Mary?
94. 94. 94 is the best year ever.
Is that the miracle?
No. The best Hail Mary was Cordell Stewart because it happened in Michigan.
Yeah, the miracle at Michigan.
The second best Hail Mary was Rocket Wright because it happened for Michigan State. Still, the misery of them is, when I was a child, was much better than the joy of me as an adult. For sure.
Yeah.
I was a bad, nasty kid.
Multiple fingertips to
Michael Westbrook.
In Ann Arbor.
I was camping and we watched the end of it in our car. Or we heard it. No, we heard it on the radio, I think. It was awesome. I was there visually, though, in my head. I was like, man, I'm never going to do drugs.
Live. I remember being in my living room.
I was like,
glorious.
I don't need no s'mores, Dad. You made me so happy. It was great.
I will say this. Michigan had definitely lost more than their proportional share. I don't want to say fair share, but their proportional share of last-second games.
Yeah, 2001 MSU.
So many instances where they have literally lost on the last play of a game.
1990 MSU.
Is that the two-pointer?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was interference. That was interference. He still should
never say that.
He still should have caught it though. Like,
did he throw a flag?
No.
Then it wasn't interference.
It was at Michigan too.
It was at Michigan.
Oh, wow. That was honestly like. Have you ever been asked like? We'll get to NFL picks next, but have you ever been asked if, like, what was the best year of your life? Like, honestly, until I met my beloved. So like 40, like it was 8 years old. 8 years old. Until 40, it was the year 40 was definitely 8. And why? The number one reason was we beat Michigan when Desmond Howard tripped, dropped the ball, dropped the season. They lost the game. They didn't win a national championship. They still haven't because 97 was bullshit too. Eat it. Michigan fans, come at us. I don't care. Come at it. Well, not really because you're probably the ones that went after Coach Campbell, so never mind. Forget I said that. I got Illinois at Penn State. I know, and so we both took a team that had a double-digit, like score more spread, and went the other way. We went with like winning them straight out. I think Penn State is, until Franklin wins a big one against Michigan or Ohio State or any team that he has a chance to go undefeated into that next big game. I mean, don't they play Ohio State next week or something? They're going to freaking lose. You know they're going to lose. Illinois is getting it done with Belima. I mean, he's a balloon. He's great. He's just floating up into the heavens of good football. Not great football, but good football. So are you going with the trap game theory here? I'm going with the James Franklin stinks theory. And I don't think much of their quarterback. I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't think he's the guy.
Stanford James Franklin is well known around these parts.
Yeah, he's a jerk. He's a jerk. He stinks. He's a jerk. It's very easy to recruit there. Not impressed. You don't impress me, buddy. Not impressed. Illinois, your pick. Penn State. Your pick. Penn State. Wrong pick.
Yeah, I'm going with the Nittanies.
Yeah.
Yup. By the way, do you know why it's called the Nittany Lions?
The mountains.
Yeah, it's correct. The Nittany Mountains.
Mountains. Yeah. A Nittany lion is a mountain lion of the Nittany Mountains. He comes and snatches your children.
Look at us being an educational
in the night. The Nittany Lions come and eat children in the night. Okay, their football team loses big games in October and November. That's what they do. Okay, but they do play in them. They granted they win enough games to play in enough games to lose big games constantly. So good for them. Hey, good job, Nittany Lions. Yay. Okay, they stink. All right. In Colorado, I don't know much about UCF. I just know They're favored pretty big here. They haven't lost yet. They did beat TCU in a tough one. I think they beat TCU, right? I'm just not overall like into Colorado's like trench warfare, like their defense and offense. Travis Hunter, all you do is scheme a way to not throw his way, to not let him free too much. Let everyone else beat you.
You're said and done.
Yeah, they're not. The other players aren't going to beat them. I just think UCF is one of those unsexy, under the radar teams like BYU that came in last week, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, these guys. I think that's the next team up on that list there. I thought it was Syracuse. It was not. I thought maybe it was UNLV, which we might have to talk about that next week. That situation's still going with the NIL situation, debacle over at UNLV. Okay, so NFL. So dollar bets, college. Sir, go ahead. Sorry, sir.
Do I get to say my thoughts
Yes.
on Colorado?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me how great Colorado is. I mean, they're
I'm
not.
going to tell you how great Colorado is. So last year, if you remember, Colorado got off to that 4-0 start, and everybody in the nation is all over the bandwagon, and Coach Prime this and Coach Prime that, and yada, 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 and then I'm pretty sure they lost 8 games in a row, right?
I think it was 3-0 start.
And I think there was like a lot of how do you pronounce the German word? Schadenfreude?
No. Try
How do you
again.
pronounce that word?
Try again. We're just gonna stay on this point.
How do you pronounce the word?
Try again. I'll tell you. You gotta try one more time.
No, we're gonna run out of airtime.
Schadenfreude.
How do you
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
If the E comes before the U. Yeah.
Casual college football fans definitely enjoyed seeing them lose because they were so sick of all the attention that we were getting.
Yeah.
So I think that got to the Colorado players and the team. I think they know they're kind of the villainous bad guys in college football, and I think that they're using that as a chip on their shoulder, and I think they are actually playing a much tougher brand of football than they were last year. Last year they were more just a finesse team trying to beat people with speed, trying to just showboat things. They are playing grittier football. I've watched a couple of their games this year. I think this is a much better team than last year. You know, they did lose a game earlier this year to Nebraska. You know, last year's team would have just collapsed after that, but no, this team, they bounced back from that loss rather. They've won the last 2 games. I think Travis Hunter is the real deal.
He's a real deal. Yeah, he's a real deal.
He's probably not winning the Heisman, but he's definitely going to be on that stage. As a finalist, I think Colorado takes this game.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say about that.
No, I mean, I agree with they probably have more grit than last year, but any team has more grit than they had last year. Also, they ran off all the players they didn't want. Like, that's what they're doing. So it's like, yeah, okay, they're new players that have grit. Congrats. They have 1 lineman from last year in their entire roster, right? I don't think it was just a starter, and no one graduated. They just left. So it's like, they did this patchwork, like, we'll take care of it next year. We'll run these guys off offensive line. And they're going to do this again to not even win 8 games, probably, right? It's like, I mean, I don't know why anyone wastes their waste that good hate on like Deion Sanders based college team, because he's not going to be there for long. And why are you going to hate him everywhere he goes? Why? Like, what's the point of that? His kid, sure, Shadur seems like a jerk, but he seems like a jerk. Like, and that's on Deion too, right? But to an extent, and then he's still like a grown man-ish, like 22 or something. So it's like, okay, well, you know, maybe it's on him too. But I don't know. I think they're flashy, but I don't know if they're well coached enough offensively to beat a team that's more disciplined like a UCF. Don't ask me much about UCF. I'm not really up on them, but I do think they're one of those under radar teams that could cause some problems for a team like Utah if Cam Rising's out. We did both pick Utah despite not knowing if Cam Rising's playing, unless you've heard something.
I have no updates on that.
No updates. Moving on to the NFL. So we had $4 bets on college. We got Oklahoma State, Kansas State. The less said about that, the better. You're a man. You're 40. 4, and you're going to take Oklahoma State. You got Colorado, good for you. You got Penn State, that's nice. Washington and Rutgers. I'm all in a Rutgers, man. Rutgers is going to win 8 games, dude. Rutgers is good. And this is their 5th win. This is their 5th win coming. Washington stinks. They stink. They lost their coach. They lost Adunze, who was a stud. They lost their other receivers who were quite good. I believe they lost a tight end. Obviously, again, they lost their coach. They lost their offensive coordinator. That's awesome. And they lost Penix. So they lost their Penix, and they're not very good anymore.
I don't know. I know that before the show started, I was looking on the internet and I'm doing a little research into that game, and there was definitely a reason that I picked Washington. And for the life of me, for this moment, I cannot recall what it was.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm sticking with
Stick your guns. I appreciate that. I love that. I love that.
Even on the road. Let's go.
Road Huskies, mush.
Road Dogs.
Road Dogs are mushing. All right, so this Thursday night game that's about to start, if you're listening in a time capsule, we got Cowboys. Nothing to say about that. They both teams are in trouble, so someone's got to win, and we get to hear about they're back, and they're not. Neither of these teams are back. Dallas needs a new coach. I really still think they can make the Super Bowl because the NFC's been a pile of crap so far. So
True.
It has been and that should make you feel really good as a Lions fan that the only team that's been consistently good besides Minnesota, again with Darnold, is Seattle, and they've won 2 games without Kenneth Walker. They're arguably one of their best few players. But they haven't played very good teams. I mean, the Patriots took in overtime. We'll get to that game. That is the last game to talk about. But I'm going to Falcons and Saints. We took the Falcons. I think Cousins is going to carry that coach to the playoffs, and then the coach is going to show that he's not a good enough coach, and their offensive staff isn't good enough. They're not good. Sorry, you're not good enough. But Cousins.
Yeah, I think Saints got found out last week. And I think the Falcons, even though they lost, they played Kansas City very tough. It was a close game.
They played the sleepwalking injured Chiefs very tough,
I think
yes.
The Falcons are going to start improving week by week now.
Well, Cousins, I don't think they're going to improve a lot, though. But their passing game is going to be good, and their rushing game will fall apart or something, or their defense will fall apart. It's just it's what Atlanta does. They fall apart. Needless to say, the Super Bowl is proof of that. When they lost a 28-3 lead. Who does that?
Bring that memory up.
That was great. I love seeing that. It was hilarious. It's like, they're going to choke, aren't they? It was like, when they scored their first touchdown, I was like, oh, man, I think they're actually going to lose. It was like 28-10.
It was just another Brady Super Bowl. I don't want to talk about it.
You know what I'm ashamed of? I have to confess this on air, and I don't know if I've ever told you this. I rooted for the Nick Foles and the Eagles against the Patriots. And I'm ashamed of it. That's not okay. Nick Foles was an abortion for the Bears. He was so bad.
You always go against the Patriots.
No, the Eagles fan base is a human waste depository. Okay, human waste.
But it's not the Patriots. You're not rooting for the for the fans. You're rooting for the players.
If you don't see the players in every day. You don't go to the grocery store and look at someone like, ugh, Eagles, or go to this gas station and they're panhandling, but they have an Eagles shirt on. Like, no, you don't have to see the players like in that situation. The players are fine. They're employees and they're trying their best. These fans are the fans are the ones that go to your coach's house. The fans are the ones that. I was accosted at a New Year's party when the Bears were about to play the Eagles later that weekend or the next week in the playoffs, and this guy was just like, I was just introducing myself. He's like, "We're gonna kick your effing ass." I was like,
"All right,
okay."
Listen, I will find you horrible fans in every fan base.
No, Eagles, worst ones. Eagles, Ravens.
I know that they threw the snowballs at Santa.
Eagles.
And I know that they used to have a courthouse in the old stadium.
Yeah. Eagles are the worst. It's Eagles, Raiders, and Ravens. And San Francisco, anything. Dodgers, anything. The LA San Francisco thing is ridiculous.
At Dodger Stadium.
49ers fans are bad and LA, but Raiders fans are bad. Raiders do not talk. If a Raiders fan looks in the eye, look down. Do not engage. Do you not trust
So
me?
I went to the Raiders came to town last year for a Monday Night Football game.
Oh, you went to that. Oh, that's
I went to
right.
that. I
Why?
was very much looking forward to going to that because it was Halloween. I just knew that there would be some Raiders costumes.
Yeah. Was it a mistake?
I got in no fights.
Oh, you got in no fights. Well, okay, for the audience, when O says he got in no fights, that is valid because someone will find a way. with you or me, like someone will find a way. And if we're not protected by the other, like something could happen. If you can't tell from listening to us, especially me, but like you in person is another level up, and me is the opposite.
I can be a little prickly. I'm not afraid to get in a little shoving match.
O's a hugger though. He means well. Okay, so Bears and Rams. You said you're not betting on this yet because you want to find out the injury report. I will allow it. We will do that next episode.
I'm tentatively going with the Bears.
Okay, and I'm going to the game, so I'm hoping the Bears win.
There are questionables and doubtfuls on both sides that I just need to see how this one lines up.
I got so blitzed the last time after a Bears game. Like, I went in Chicago, my friend was like falling over on the streets. It was great. And I met Mark Brunell in the elevator at a hotel, and I was like, he was playing for the Redskins at that time in 2005, and I was like, go Bears. When I got out of the elevator, he laughed. And then they kicked our ass. They beat us.
Yeah. So, let's talk about who's going to be in attendance for that game.
Who's going to be in attendance? Me.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Going to be in the Windy City.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're continuing the sports dear to my heart and detrimental to my soul tour that we took. I took my girl to a Michigan State game. We won both times. But, I mean, it's just like, what are the odds? We go 3 for 3. I think good. We're going to win. Go Bears. Go Bears. That's all I got to say. Bears. Our offensive coordinator sucks.
I'm trying to think what is better from a Lions perspective.
The Rams. No, you want the Rams.
Do I want the team that could possibly be more of a playoff threat to lose?
No, the Rams are not a playoff threat.
I want this game to end in a tie.
The Rams are not a playoff threat in the playoffs because theoretically they'll get healed and they have a great coach and a really good quarterback, but they're not. I mean, you saw, like, you guys played like crap and you still beat them when they played good, right? They played well. Rams played well that game. You guys played like crap and you still won the game, right?
Yep.
So I think if you stay healthy on offense, I think you guys will beat them. I'm not worried about that. Your run game's really good. Your line is really good. Your defensive line's pretty good. And then the other units are fine. But yeah, Bears are going to win 53-12.
What?
Prediction. No. I think Caleb Williams gets 3 total touchdowns. I think Roshan Johnson's going to be the difference maker in the run game from going to being abysmal all-time NFL bad to just bad. Not great. Improving. Bad with ability to improve. The problem with this team is the head coach hired another stooge, it looks like, in Shane Waldron so far, and the offensive line isn't good yet. I mean, lines can gel, but how often have you seen a play caller like that doesn't start off well suddenly find his way? No, it never happens. Defense, yes. I've seen defensive coordinators turn things around, but I rarely can remember the time where I saw an offensive-minded coach in any sport suddenly get it. It doesn't happen. So, 53-12, very realistic, will happen. But I think when they play real teams again, because they play the Rams, are fine. They play Panthers, Jaguars, and Washington, and then Arizona. Those are their next 5 games. They have to win 3 to have a shot later in the season. I want them to win 4. I'd love them to win 5. Probably not happening, but 5-3 is possible, and that would be amazing. Packers and Vikings. Ooh. So again, we didn't put an asterisk by this. We just went with the Packers. I'm assuming Love's going to be back. Were you as well?
No, I was not.
Ooh, you like Malik Willis, the coaching on Malik Willis. I think the Vikings are playing above their.
It's that I am still not a believer in these Vikings.
Me neither, and I bet a decent amount on the Vikings under, and that's not looking good. So Why change my mind now? Yeah, we're getting the Packers, but we don't like them, so we're not going to talk about how great they are.
No, yeah, let's get to the next one as quickly as possible.
Steelers. Fields.
Steel City.
Steel City. If Fields continues to average .333 repeating turnovers a game, they're going to win 12 or more. 100%. 100%. Because their defense is really strong. Their coaching's always been strong. The problem has always been offensively when a quarterback, even Roethlisberger made some boner plays, like some doofus plays. I think Fields' ceiling is way higher than that guy's ceiling, and I still think that.
Let me ask you this,
yeah,
because you obviously saw more of Fields' games, as from his Chicago tenure.
Yeah.
Is he playing better now that he's in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but so like last year. For the Bears, we're going to compare this to the 2022 Lions for a framework for you. The 2022 Lions got their shit together the second half of the season, and they started being dangerous, right? Dangerous, okay? And that's great. Danger. And then the Bears were like the B- version of that the second half of the year, where like defensively they got it together, but offensively they still had some games where Fields wasn't playing because he was hurt, and they had Bajent. Last year, 2023, last year. But their defense went from god-awful, giving up 35 a game, it seemed like, to top 5. And then that carried over so far. Their defense has given up 50, what's 36 plus 20, 21, 57. 57 points in 3 games is not bad. That's not bad.
20.
Yeah, it's less than, if you're going under 20 points a game, you're probably going to have a winning season. Defensively, like that's good, that's great, but they've also forced 5 or 6, I think 6 turnovers and a punt block that was returned for a touchdown. So they have 2 defensive / special team scores. They're going to get another one at some point coming up. I think they intercept Stafford or make Kyron Williams or Stafford fumble. I think they win this game. Anyways, but Steelers, what is missing from the Steelers is they don't have a lot of secondary weapons. Like running game sucks, and they have Pickens and they don't have much else. However, they have infinitely better coaching that helps Fields out to eliminate some of those mistakes where he's taking sacks, fumbling, or throwing interceptions off of like busted plays or something. And it's like, if there's no busted plays, he's not going to mess up as much. Like Caleb Williams is throwing interceptions on a couple busted plays. Much like Childs. It's like, but the unintellectual fan was like, oh, it's his fault. Like, okay, yes. But if you put him in another situation, is he still doing those things? Oh, really? You put somebody in a better home, they act better? They're happier? Imagine that. I'm shocked. The Bears are an abusive home, okay? And I've accepted that. I've long accepted that. And it's just like...
That was a wonderful use of a metaphor.
Thank you, sir. They are very much it's like... They need, if you go to the Bears, like, go from the Bears to another team, you first have to go to the Ronald McDonald house. Like, there's like a transition period. It's like transfer portal for NFL players is like, they have to go to like therapy and then be like, okay, you're okay though. You're going to be okay. That's what it's like. It sucks, okay? It sucks because it sucks more now because as a Bears guy, because their problem is actually that it's only the front end of the coaching, and then like certain personnel moves on the offensive line, and it's just like it's so fixable, but it's still like 6 to 8 months away when they fire the coach, and you're like, but I'm still excited this year. I still have to watch. So, Steelers are probably at this point. I think the Steelers are going really far. I think they're going to the semifinals of the AFC. So we took Steelers over. Who the hell are they playing? Colts. Yeah, Anthony Richardson against that defense. Good luck. That guy's gonna shit his pants. Let's see, Jets, Broncos.
Over under on Richardson's 60+ yard passes.
He's gonna attempt 2 of them. I think 2 of them at least. That's their only weapon is run 4 yards in a cloud of dust or throw a 60-yard pass.
Yeah,
or hope.
I do want to see more of those because that thing was a thing of beauty in the first game. That 67-yarder.
Yeah, it was cool, but like.
Yeah, I want to see more cool.
I know, but they should play action like every 4th play. It should be a 60-yard play action attempt, right? Basically, we're gonna. I think.
Just walk into the huddle and be like, all right, everyone go deep.
Exactly. Jets, Broncos, screw that. Who cares, Jets? Eagles, Bucks, You mentioned that you thought that Bucks or the Saints would come back to earth. Do you feel the same about the Bucks, that they just you were more concerned about the Lions from that than you were impressed with the Bucks when they played? Because I got trapped last week. I went heavy on the Bucks and they got embarrassed against Knicks. I was like, what is this? What am I watching?
I don't think the Bucks are a bad team.
Yeah.
I do think the Eagles are a good team.
Okay, we'll go with the Eagles. Exactly. When in doubt, take the good team.
Fly, Eagle, fly.
Oh, I said it. Oh, I feel so dirty in my mouth.
You're becoming one of us.
I feel dirty in my mouth region. Okay, so
one of us. One of us.
On our sheet we
old movie reference.
I know. O picks the teams first because I pick them separately off my phone, so I can't pick what he's picked just to mess with them or whatever. Bengals Panthers, and he just puts Andy Dalton ! So I did too. But again, this is our betting tip. We're not doing my parlay of the week or whatever, because we want to hammer this point. This is our hammer play. Do not bet on this game. This is a turd of a game. This is dog shit that you step on and you get upset and then you have a fight with your spouse because you bet on this game. You stepped in the dog shit. Do not take this. Do not be like, honey, what happened to her? Why are you Venmoing all these strange people? Like, no. What is this service you sent money to? No. Do not bet on this game. Panthers are a dog. The Bengals are worse. Do not take this game, but enjoy Andy Dalton because God has given us Andy Dalton. The red rifle, red rocket.
Cincinnati being 0-3 the biggest surprise of this early season?
No.
Is Minnesota being 3-0 the biggest surprise?
Yes. Minnesota, because they got the best out of Darnold, and the Bengals do legitimately have problems. Like, they're really not that good. We just thought they would be decent. We both said playoffs, but you said they'd win the division. But to be fair,
here's what I'm curious about this game: the Panthers and Bengals. I'd like to ask AI what the record is of quarterbacks going up against their former teams.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Especially like ones that were, because like Dalton didn't like just go sign somewhere else. He was kind of like cast away by
He's cast away. The Bears, the Saints and the Bears have had him, right? Yeah. He's he's playing the double revenge game, 2 weeks in a row, revenge game. Did you know that? And did they play the Saints the week after that? That would be amazing. If there is a chance that there's a triple revenge and he goes 0-3 and they go back to Bryce Young, is that the most Panthers thing ever?
Yeah.
It's going to happen. But we took Andy Dalton.
I do think Carolina wins this game.
Texans. Jaguars are poo-poo. I feel like, Peterson's still a good coach, but
That's also another surprise.
Jaguars? No, their schedule's brutal. Who they played? They played Miami. Who they played?
We had them in the playoffs.
We didn't look at their schedule. We had them as a 7 seed. They could still be a 7 seed. How many are there? When have there been 7 good teams? Never, right? In a conference.
I don't like the expansion. And
I like it.
Eventually go to 8. I'm gonna like that even less.
Making me a Thursday night game. So we took the Texans. Cardinals and Commanders is gonna be low key a really good game. That's gonna be high scoring. So we took the home team, right?
Yeah, Cardinals in the bounce back.
Jaden Daniels is really good though. For a rookie, he's dope. 49ers Patriots. Do not bet on this game either. San Francisco's 10.5 point favorites. Don't assume the Patriots are going to cover either. Stay away. 49ers win it. Browns Raiders.
49ers still with a bunch of injuries. Don't take that action.
Yeah, don't take that action. Don't do it. Don't do it. The stay away. Here comes another stay away game. But
here we go. Next game.
Raiders Browns.
Okay, so I want to talk about Oakland.
Okay.
And I just learned earlier today that the Oakland A's just played their final game in Oakland and they're moving to Vegas. I did not know that, mainly because I don't follow baseball.
You don't follow crap franchises in general. You don't follow Sabaros, right? So why would you follow the A's? It makes sense. I'm going to get you off the hook on that, is what I'm saying.
Did you just dog Sbarro's?
It's a crappy franchise. I didn't say the food was bad. The franchise is bad. Why is it only in rest stops?
Okay.
What's
I
wrong?
like a slice from Sbarro's.
It's pretty good. It's quick and it's dirty and it's greasy and it's not bad.
Sometimes that's what you need.
And that's I also have this joke that the Eberflus just reminds me of a tepid like Sbarro's regional manager, like for like Ohio rest stops or something. But the Bears, because the Bears are a shitty family business from a shitty family that or used to be good. You know how like George Halas, it's like it was like his niece married into this family and then they own this the team or some shit like that. And the lady's like 99 now. And she won't die, and it's like neither will the team's one glory year and since the 40s. So it's like I don't know. There's a lot of emotions, and I will let all of them out, screaming my head off for Matt Stafford's head to pop off against the Bears or the Rams or whatever when I'm at the Bears game. But yeah, Sbarro's, man,
Back
Sbarro's.
to this Oakland thing, though.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if, like, citizens of Oakland attack Vegas.
Attack Vegas? Wait, what?
We might have a war between the Bay Area and the desert.
The Bay Area and back down. Let it get their Mac down.
Second sports franchise that they are taking.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if Golden State was still playing in Oakland, had not moved to San Francisco, like Vegas probably would have tried to pirate them too.
probably. Well, Warriors are like an iconic franchise at this point. So why would an iconic franchise be in Oakland, right? Oakland probably doesn't even have a Sbarro's at this point. It's a ghost.
Raiders are iconic in a different way.
It's a ghost town, dude. Right?
I've never actually spent any time in Oakland.
Yeah, you've probably avoided it. You've been to a lot of places and you've probably avoided it because you've heard things or read things or watched things. And yes, and this is where the Raiders fans originate from. Like they used to also be in LA, so they've been in like two kind of rough places and now a third kind of rough place if you think about the type of people that like to flock to Vegas. First off, yeah, if you're moving for weather, you're a flake. You're a flake. Like you're definitely a flake. And a lot of people, if you move for a sports team or you become a sports fan of a team that's like nowhere near you but it used to be near you or something, I don't understand that. Like, why are there still Raiders fans in like Oakland, right? There shouldn't be. They spurned you. Don't support. You're in another abusive household. We'll get more to that. We got to finish our games, and I'm very sorry, but I'm not sorry. Don't bet on this
Here we go.
game.
Lightning round.
I got
lightning
Cleveland
round.
Chiefs. We took Chiefs.
Chiefs and Chargers.
Chiefs.
Chiefs, right?
Take
Easy.
Chargers on the spread or
Bills and
lay it off.
Ravens. Oh, we have a discrepancy.
Not
here.
bad. I got the Bills, man. You know Josh Allen's
Right on
dating
the
Haley
Bills,
Steinfeld because Josh Allen is dating Haley Steinfeld.
Good reason.
And once I've had a taste of you, or whatever that song is, once I've had a taste of the money on the Bills, I'm gonna keep it going.
All right. I am going with the Ravens because Ravens strong running game. Bills having some issues defending the run.
Correct.
I think the Ravens pull this one off.
Ravens pass defense is garbage, so I think that's to me the difference of the game. You have the best quarterback playing this year so far. Mahomes overall is still better, but Allen's number 2.
Yeah, Mahomes is still the king, but yes, I will say Josh Allen is off to a good start.
Killing it. And then here's our closer. We tease this. We're gonna close it. We'll go over where we thought we were because we got passionate about a couple things. That's on Z. Z's a passionate man. He's about to unleash himself on the unsuspecting Bears public and come back with a loss and then a loss in this bet because I took the Seahawks at the Lions. I did. And I don't even know if Kenneth Walker's playing. My fantasy life probably depends on it too, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. I took Seattle because they seem to have the Lions' number recently, as last year was a surprise a little bit.
Let me just correct you.
Okay.
They don't seem to have the Lions' number. They have the Lions' number.
But they only won the last 2 years, right?
No, they have beaten. I think the last time Detroit beat Seattle was like in 2012. Like Seattle has won like 6 or 7 games in a row.
Well, the Lions
absurd.
sucked.
It's awful. There's even been a playoff loss.
Yeah, the Lions have sucked ass for the most part.
Detroit's number. The other thing that you might have going for you is Detroit is dealing with a lot of injuries right now.
Yeah, and they're not very good.
You are Pro Bowl center freak Ragnow, who it was announced earlier today will be missing this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of starters on the Lions that are not playing. All that said,
and Goff is playing
Lions.
also against you.
Not betting against my boys all year.
Woo! Do it just nonstop.
We can go ahead and fill out our spreadsheets.
I'm gonna steal like $3 on the times where I disagree with it, and they're gonna win like 11. They're going 11-6, dude. It feels like a mortal lock. They go 11-6 because their over under was 10.5. So they know that people. I know. I took over too, but I really think they're going 11-6 no matter what happens. I think they're well coached enough that it doesn't really matter as long as they still have like one or two of those running backs and most of their offensive line and some of their defensive line. I really think that hook and ladder play that we talked about, you saw it live. I really feel like that was such a difference maker of like
right towards me.
Future Bears coach, or really probably future Cowboys coach Ben Johnson gets off on that, and so do you. O gets off on this.
I think you need to put $1 in the jar for that one.
$1 in the jar. Final thoughts on Lions. I'm going to give you the floor to close this out because, again, I'm very passionate, man. We've established this, and sometimes when our listenership blows up, we'll trim things down. But this is our outlet. This is my outlet, and now it's O's turn. Okay, listen to O. Talk about the Lions, dude.
I want to talk about this. This feels like a must-win game.
Really? What's their next few games?
Well, in week 5 they play bye in week 5.
Loss.
And then they come out of that and they've got the at Dallas game.
Okay. Ooh.
But as much as a September game can be a must-win, couple things. One, which we just discussed, this is a monkey the Lions need to get off their back. They need to beat Seattle.
Yeah.
They just need to do that. 2, the defense has been playing great.
Yeah.
The offense has not been playing great, at least not for entire games. They've had a good half here, a good half there.
It's been the passing game, right? The passing game has been
unfortunate. They need to figure some things out offensively.
Yeah.
And they need to do that before they go into the bye. They need to build some confidence. And playing a game that this is definitely going to be a close game, a tough game, simply because of all the players that are going to be missing.
I agree.
The Lions need to put this together and get themselves a win and get to 3-1.
I think you're right. Because I do think it's going to be tough to win both those games, even with a bye, because Seattle's hot. And like you said, they seem to have their number, their style of play. They seem to be able to get those yards no matter what in the ground game, and they have really good receivers. So it's like it's hard to stop them for a full game. And if you're currently struggling right in the passing game, it's like you're not really putting enough pressure on Seattle's defense, right? So it could be tough. I would slow if I'm Detroit, screw you fantasy owners. I'm pounding the rock and doing play action stretches so that Goff has a clean pocket because you have enough grit to win the game, to no matter who you're playing. And there's really only a couple teams, I think. I'm going to say it. You only have to really truly worry about the Chiefs having more talent and coaching at this point, more coaching, that they're just going to find a way. Because you play the Bills in the Super Bowl, dude. It's the Bills. They'll screw it up, right? If it's the Lions and the Bills, I think the Bills' ability to screw it up is trumps it. Well, we've never been there. Screw it. Roll the dice, right? And Josh Allen theoretically can make more mistakes than Goff because it's all about managing Goff's goofusness in the pot. Like if you keep him in a clean pocket and you're like throw here or just throw it away. And we'll punt. We have a great punter. We paid the shit out of this punter, right? Let's go. We have 2 stud backs, 2 top 15 backs. Together, they're the number 1 rushing combo, I think. I don't even know how good Gibbs would be, but like the way they're using him and his aggression, in between the tackles has been surprising too, because now you can't just think that they're only going to do a screen pass or they're only going to do a stretch play. If he goes at the gut, dude, that's great. That's business, because then the next time you're like, oh, what's he going to do? And then you throw over the middle of St. Brown, and he does a freaking hook and a freaking ladder. That's great. Dude, I'm on board. Campbell is so good. He's so good. And if he doesn't have to be as aggressive going forward, because you know it's always a possibility, and the talent has improved, so the coaching has improved naturally when you have better talent, right? So when it gets better, you're not in an abusive home anymore. And it's like, it's great. And I really think that you're going to be right that they played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, because ultimately, who has a better combination of like at least one coach and one coordinator than Detroit? Because head coach in the NFC, I don't know who's a better coach at this point. Not really sure. I can't really say Shanahan because he's blown like 3 Super Bowls. So it's not him. It's not him. Because he was the offense coordinator when the Falcons blew it. He made those calls to throw the ball. He did that. Literally, Matt Ryan could have sat on it, taken 3 steps back and sat on it and punted, and they would have won the game. Like,
Matt Ryan could have punted.
Matt Ryan literally could have punted 17 yards, and they still probably would have won the game. That's on Shanahan, so it's not Shanahan. It's not Sirianni. I think it's Quinn. Sorry. I think it's, goddammit, Campbell. Quinn's pretty good, though, with Washington. And the Seattle, this new Seattle guy up there, it's not Sabaro's man, Eberflush. It's not him. And then your offense coordinator is probably a top 5 offense coordinator.
You won't get any arguments from me.
Right, so the defensive coordinator, like, it's hard to tell. But against the Rams, I was impressed for that first half. And that they had enough to hang on, And it's like, that's a tough situation right out the gate. Monday Night Football or whatever that was, Sunday Night Football. It's a tough situation out of the gate. And they pulled it off. I like it. I'm impressed because they earned my impression. They earned my respect, because I did like the Lions when I was younger. But it was like 2 shitty teams was too much to bear. And they were never on TV. But whenever I saw Barry Sanders, I was like, oh my God, that guy's awesome. Then I learned more about football. I was like, wait, he did that with the offensive line wasn't even good? No, it was terrible. And he was the only player on the team besides Herman Moore, basically. They had like 2 guys on their team. Perryman was all right too. But we're talking about, we're gonna run this in the ground if we talk about the 1991 Lions for like 10 more minutes. So, final thoughts on the Lions? Super Bowl bound. They're going to win. Baby. Monday night, baby. They're going to start with 3-1.
I'm going to be real tired Tuesday morning.
You're going to be scratching with 2 night games. In 2 night games in a 3-day span. Send O money. Go to signupexpert.com/dollarbets. Bet on the Lions with him. Send him money so that he can buy some rest or melatonin. Buy us some melatonin. We're going to be tired boys. Okay, bye. Hey, heard you like podcasts. Well, check out Dollar Bets. 2 sports guys with faces for radio, betting live money against each other on air. That's Dollar Bets with a Z. Find us on the Winner's Edge.
Dreaming of the perfect event or longing for a clutter-free space? I'm Stephanie with I'm with Steph, where your vision becomes a reality. From magical weddings to transformative home organizing, we bring you expertise and passion to every project. Whether you're planning a grand celebration or seeking peace through organization, we tailor our services to meet your unique needs. I'm with Steph. To explore our services and connect with me directly, visit I'mWithSteph.com. Mention Electricast for a 20% discount. Electricast.